Alright, I'm back. As you can see, I am still in my car driving to Sterling. I told you it was a very long drive. I've even taken some breaks here from the videos, and I'm still got a long ways to go. So we talked about who I am. We talked about the basics of REOs and BPOs. We talked about how to apply with companies, how to really get started in the business. Now some more in-depth training on trying to get in with asset management companies, trying to get in with banks. So along with the BPO companies, I've also included REO companies I work for and REO companies I know have assets. You should be applying with all of those companies as well. Some of them have easy to find application spots on their sites. Others will tell you you cannot apply, we are closed. And others, it'll be virtually impossible to find any way to apply with them. So how do you contact these people? First off, if they have an application, a place to apply, always do that. But be warned, they get thousands of applications a year. Now, it's probably less now because of the downturn in REO, but that is actually a good thing for you because less competition means there's a better chance you'll be seen if somebody does need a property in your area. But just applying on those sites is probably not going to get you too far. A lot of people think there's some magic application that you send in, and as soon as the asset management company sees that, oh, we'll give you a listing. You took the time to spend 5 minutes applying on our site. That's not how it works. I don't know if I've ever gotten a listing from just applying directly on an asset management site. I know I've gotten listings from applying on ResNet and Equator, but not just applying directly with an asset manager. In fact, when I got my HUD listings, they're with Home Telos, and the reason they found me was I'd worked with First Preston before, which is another REO asset management company, who actually owned Home Telos. And so the vendor coordinator saw my name in the First Preston directory that I listed homes for him, and that's why he called me, said, hey, can you handle this HUD listing in Sterling, because we don't have anybody in that area. I said, sure, of course, I'll take it. But the funny part is, I had applied with Home Telos. I had sent in my application, they had all my information on their site, so they didn't even look at the applicants they'd received. They just went to their current broker network they had with the other company. So it was really a complete waste of time for me to apply with them. Now, I'm not saying that's always the case, it's not. But you have to do more than just apply online with these sites. The best, absolute best thing you can do is go to REO conferences. No doubt about it. It's going to cost you money again, like I said. I go to 5 Star in Dallas every year. It used to be 4,000 agents going. I think last year in 2014 there were maybe 800, 1,000, I can't remember. But it's dropped tremendously because there's so few REO agents now compared to what there used to be. The reason those conferences are so important is because they are full of asset managers, full of banks, and full of other REO agents. When you go to these conferences, it's not just about running up to asset managers, talking to them, handing them your card, and getting listings. Again, that's how does that impress people that you can hand them a card and get in their face and tell them to give you a listing? It's about building relationships. It's about talking to people, not being a salesman. Every once in a while, if you need to work in that you're a good REO agent, that you have listings, it's okay to mention that, but don't dwell on it. It's about seeing the same people over and over again, talking to them. They start to recognize you. They see you're at the conferences. They know you're a real player. They know you're not there for one conference to try and get listings and then you're done. The other thing you can do is many of those conferences have places to interview with asset managers, get in front of them face to face, which is excellent. There are also many REO agents at those conferences, which most people don't realize. That's one of your best sources to get in to the REO world. If you make friends with the REO agents and you talk to them and you take time to learn from them, They will tell you what companies they work for, who has the properties, give you a great idea of where you should be focusing your time. They also have good relationships with their asset managers. If you're in an area that doesn't have many REO agents, maybe they can even refer you to those asset management companies, help you get into them. Some of my best connections, some of my best clients have come from other REO agents telling me about them and me pursuing those clients, or even helping me get in with them through an introduction. So you can't go at this alone if you want to make it really big. You've got to have help from other agents, help from asset managers, and you've got to be willing to go out there, take some time to go to conferences, take time to apply, take time to talk to people. The 5-star conference, I think I paid $600 for my registration fee, plus you got to pay for your hotel and flight. I'm in Colorado. There's a few other conferences, REO Mac, that are really good. Used to be more, but they're going away because of the low inventory right now. The NRBA is a great conference, but you have to be an NRB member to go to that conference. Which brings me to the two groups I am a member of, NRBA and US REO Partners. I got into the NRBA about a year and a half after I became an REO agent. It's one of the best things I ever did. I went to my first conference with the NRBA, had never been to a real estate conference. Went there by myself, scared to death, had no idea what I was doing. I learned so much and was around agents making $400,000, $500,000 a year, while I was making, $60,000 a year. It just blew my mind. It was insane. It was an awesome experience. It really changed my real estate career. They are about $175 a month to join the NRBA. The conference is another $1,200. US REOP is $175 a month. I belong to them as well. Those groups are expensive, but they're well worth it if you can get into them. You'll probably have to have experience before they will accept you. Why are those groups so good? There is some clients who will assign properties directly to people only in those groups. But that's not the real benefit. The real benefit is networking with high-level REO agents, talking to those agents. They have online forums, they have email, chat groups, learning what's happening in the industry, staying on top of things, and you can market yourself as belonging to those groups. Now, just because you're in an NRBA doesn't mean you're going to go get a bunch of assignments, but it does mean when you talk to asset managers, when you talk to banks, you can say, I am an NRBA member, I am a US REOP member, and most of them, if not all of those asset managers, will know those groups, will know that gives you some credibility. If you can market yourself with those, it's so worth it. It's not easy to get into those groups. It's easier now with less competition, but you still will have to apply, and then we'll check you out, check your references, make sure you have some experience. So, conferences, we've talked about groups, we've talked about applying to websites. Another way to contact asset managers is, of course, email or the phone. It's kind of tricky because some asset managers hate to be contacted and some are okay with it. Usually email is a better source to contact them than the phone, because the phone takes more time, and if they don't want to be contacted, you can really piss them off if you call them, especially to an unsolicited number or a number that is not public. That can really get on their nerves, and it's probably not a good idea. Direct mail is one way that you can contact them, and it's probably one of the best ways right now because nobody else is doing it. Everybody else is using email. I include some information on how to send a package in the REO kit. I'll include a resume, marketing experience, what you do for your community, things that make you stand out, sales statistics, what's going on in your market, something they can use that's useful, not just about you, but let them know about your market, about foreclosures, about prices. Maybe they're curious about what the market is in your area. Another great way to contact asset managers is LinkedIn. So finding email address, finding phone numbers is not always easy. Many asset managers hide those because they don't want to be bombarded by agents, which is understandable. But LinkedIn, almost everybody is on there because asset managers are constantly changing jobs. It's a very volatile industry. Companies are going out of business, companies are hiring, companies are firing. LinkedIn is one of the best sources now to find a new job. So those asset managers will probably be on LinkedIn listing what company they work for. And you can go on LinkedIn and search for, asset manager or Olympus Asset Management, for example. And it will show you the people who pop up who meet that criteria. Many people will have private profiles, which means you can't email them, you can't contact them unless you know their email address or some other information about them. But you can become a premium member on LinkedIn. I think it's $200 a year again. There's a lot of money I spend to become an REO agent, to be an REO agent. That gives you the opportunity to send in-mails to people. You can send an in-mail to anyone on LinkedIn, and it gives special priority to go to their inbox so that they see it. So you can send them a message, just say, hey, I'm such and such, I know you're an asset manager, I'm an REO agent. Just thought I'd say hi, if you ever need anything in my area, please let me know. I'd be happy to, give you some information on my market, provides a free report on any properties you have in the area, or a second BPO if you need one. Please, stay in touch, and I hope you have a great day. That's one basic way to contact an asset manager. Many will not respond, a few might, and I have gotten assignments this way. What I've found is an even better way to approach this is to study their profile. So once you're on LinkedIn, some asset managers don't fill out anything, but many of them will fill out what school they went to, what their previous jobs were, what their interests are. Take the time to look at their profile. See where they went to school. See what interests them. See if you have anything in common. If you have something in common, use that to contact them. Say, hey, I saw you went to the University of Colorado. So did I. Great to meet you. I happen to be an REO agent in such and such. Hope to keep in touch with you. Simple as that. You're not selling yourself. You're just letting them know who you are. If they see that you took the time to look at their profile and not just send them an email that you copied to 500 other people, there's a much better chance they'll contact you and talk to you. Again, this is not a one-time email that will work. Hopefully they respond to you, but I would keep track of who you send emails to, who's responded, who hasn't. Don't keep sending emails if they don't respond. That means they don't want to talk to you. Maybe send 2 at the most, that's it. The ones that do respond, follow up every couple months maybe, just to let them know you're serious, you're going to stay in the business, and you want to get assignments. LinkedIn is an awesome resource, one of the best ways to find asset managers. That's probably one of the best ways that I've gotten ahead. And there's also a ton of information on different REO groups that you can join. And some of those have asset managers. Some of them just articles and information on the industry, what's going on, and what's happening. Alright, that is the end of this video. I'll have one more with the closing information and help you get started listing REO properties.